sorry to everyone that you had to listen to something as offensive as that. I'm very proud, as I think most of us here, for living in a borough like Lewisham, a very diverse borough, where we know that we want a society that thrives on diversity and that we all work together. But I have to say that I also think that where parties say they're against racism but then support austerity, they are playing a very dangerous game. Because at the moment, those kind of comments, that kind of rubbish, luckily, is a very minority point of view. But there is a danger. What is it that breeds racism? It's when people are desperate, when they haven't got enough jobs, or they haven't got enough homes. So for me... Well, TUSC's manifesto is absolutely clear. We're completely opposed to TTIP. The whole point of this secret treaty being drawn up behind closed doors is to benefit those people who now think that public services aren't something to benefit society, they're just something to try and make money from. But in terms of, I was told that I couldn't say that there won't be a financial crash, but I don't think that stops me saying that I think there probably will be a financial crash. And that's because the world economy is now dominated by finance capital. And they will not invest. No amount of people like Krugman saying that really you need to start investing in growth will make them do it. There is an estimated £750 billion, a ridiculous sum, sloshing around the banks that is not being invested because unless those people can find a short-term profit, they hold on to it. And therefore there will be another bubble economy of speculation that will lead to another crisis. And this time we've got to learn the lesson. And the lesson is that you don't only start to control the banks and bring them into public ownership when they go bust, you bring them into public ownership now. You actually control the wealth of society so that we can provide it together. And I'll just say, Jim Dowd made a comment about the 1970s, some of which I agree with him. But when I was a Labour Party, not in the 70s but in the 80s, that Labour Party stood for public ownership. That Labour Party has gone, which is why TUSC is standing and building ourselves now. I'll try and quickly answer all of them. Housing is perhaps the biggest issue in the campaign, talking on the doors and on the streets. The only link that I'd really say it's got with immigration is when fat cats are coming into London, buying up houses and then letting them out at massive profits, and that what we need is rent controls and building council homes. On schools, one of the main reasons why I'm opposed to academies is precisely what will happen is you will have schools competing against each other on different admissions policies, and that's why you need a democratic local authority in charge of all schools to make sure that that can't happen. On Penge, I was the organiser of the anti-poll tax union in Penge, one of the proudest things I've done in the early 90s, that shows that if you organise, particularly in a place like Penge, you can win and you can defeat even a government like Margaret Thatcher. You obviously are fighting there a particularly vicious council that always treats Penge as a kind of the part of the borough that they don't want to know about. And I should say that the Unite Bromley branch have been on strike all this week in the libraries, and they will all be out tomorrow, May Day, on a strike that I was certainly there to support. In terms of the Greyhound pub, well, I hope Jim Dowd would answer that one, but apparently he's not here to talk about it. The issue of Crystal Palace Park, Beckenham Place Park, like Sedge Hill, they're all the same issues in many ways, in that what you have is a council and politicians imposing their ideas, and therefore what we need is genuine local democracy, which is why I would certainly support PR and a change to the electoral system that we have at the present. I think I missed out one. Sorry. What would I want to do for Lewisham West Penge? I would want to make sure that we were representing all the people who aren't in the room, who when you're talking to on the streets of Penge or Bellingham or elsewhere across the constituency say, politics I don't care about and they're all the same. To say, actually, no, we're not all the same. Some people are all the same. The people who look after the 1% are all the same. But what we want is a party that stands to take the money from the 1% and use it for the needs of the 99%. That's what TUSC is standing for. Please vote for us on May the 7th.